Oh, making a bang and a crash into the commentary box, Kath. It's so good to be with you and really excited for the next couple of hours on the mic with you.
So, the Stonor Challenge Trophy, an event that starts today, is off, and we have Brittain and Ella Weeks from Nottingham Rowing Club and Notts County Rowing Association, who are up against Isabel van Opzeeland and Marika Keijser. On the right of your club, we see a shot there in of the Dutch crew from Henley Royal Club.
It's great to see this Dutch crew together, and actually great to see Marika Keijser back in a boat on flat water.
Doing an incredible job leading out from the start with that extra power and length. Beautiful shot there, and we have Isabel van Opzeeland is here for the first time, learning lots from Marika Keijser, Olympic bronze medalist in Tokyo.
Yeah, I'm absolutely sure of that, Kath, because again, if you might remember back to that Tokyo Games, Marika Keijser was in that boat that just beat the British lightweight double by
0.01.
You know, millimetres.
We all lived that race.
But here is that great crew who's going up against this international opposition in Brittain and Ella Weeks. Brittain, actually familiar probably with Marika Keijser, as they've both been racing on the coastal scene over the last few years. Coastal rowing obviously making a huge surge in the rowing environment at the moment, with its debut at the LA Olympic Games. So maybe we'll see Brittain there, but there in the strokes, Marika Keijser joined by Isabel van Opzeeland, who you've said probably learning lots. The 24-year-old, she's been racing the international circuit this year, 4th in the B final at Varese just a few weeks ago. But with a different partner to Marika. Marika's jumped in here for this Henley campaign.
So a lovely shot here, and yeah, it's a crew that's still coming together, still learning a lot. But you know, you can see there how tight that's looking, the timing. And they'll be learning still, trying to set a rhythm, and setting a rhythm on the water at Henley is not easy, because you've got more than the normal distractions throwing you off in terms of bounce on the water, you know, the wash coming across, and yeah, the nature of being on a river rather than still water. So, you know, it can be testing to bring a new combination together, but I think they're doing a good job, and the fact that they've been able to get out to an early lead means they can, you know, relax and focus on actually putting their moves together down the course.
Totally, and I think if there was any crew that was going to deal with the poppy water, the sort of other conditions that you get here on the Henley stretch, the Dutch are always an outfit that I think have very similar conditions to us here in the UK. They can deal with the rough water pretty well, but I do think the wash is something different here, especially as you get later through the week with these premier events, Kath. You know, it's a nice day out there on the water. You can see the pleasure cruisers going back and forth behind Keijser and Van Opzeeland. It'll be making that Buck station pretty bubbly, and they're making it look like they're cruising here.
It's one of the things that's so different at Henley Royal Regatta. We don't really notice, but in the background, coming up along the course is where you warm up. So you literally have to navigate past cruisers, having little parties out for the afternoon, not necessarily steering very accurately. And that's hard then. You don't have the normal race warm-up you'd have if you were just at a regatta, at a World Cup regatta or any other regatta. And, you know, yet you've got to get yourself ready in that warm-up to go and deliver your best race. So that even getting through the warm-up is navigating something different for these cruisers. But that's why the crews love coming here, because you learn so many different things that you have to manage. You have to be really on it. And at the moment, we can see there Isabel and Marika Keijser. Beautiful shot from the back. They'll probably be wanting to look back at this video this evening to check where can we become even more synchronized, because we're going to get more pressure later in the week. Are the angles right? You can see a slightly taller athlete, Isabel, over 6 foot. And, you know, 6'3", I think. She's been, she was a University of Washington graduate. She's actually raced in all boat classes, singles, doubles, a pair, a 4 and 8. And, yeah, adapting to being behind such an impressive stroke woman of Marika Keijser.
Well, they're going to want to conserve some energy here today, Kath, because tomorrow they will know their opposition almost like the back of their hand, because tomorrow they're going up against probably one of the top seeds in the draw, De Jong and Boonstra, who are the new Dutch elite double, who have been racing on the World Cup circuit all season. They are, at the moment, on paper, the favourites. The Greeks will give them a great race, I'm sure, but it'll be a Dutch race tomorrow if this continues as it is, and they will know how strong both Rose and Benta are.
But meanwhile, let's have a look there. Brittain, Ella Weeks, coached by Jeffrey Hunt, and, you know, again, learning with every stroke. Brittain at bow has been once previously to Henley. Stroke Ella Weeks is here for the first time, and, you know, it's a lot to take in. It's a lot when you're in these smaller boats. You know, there's no cock steering you down there, giving the race plan, etc. You've got lots of thinking, manage yourself and keep, at this point you can't see your opposition, you just need to focus on what can you do to make your boat go faster.
Totally. And what a great experience for them to be on that Barks bank as well, because they'll get all the support from the local fans, especially from Nottingham Rowing Club, who have been here in force all week. They've won a few rounds in other events across the regatta. They've definitely been here in strength in the club events, and great to see them racing a notch above in these premier events. You know, the Stonor really is the creme de la creme of international opposition, and we've got a club crew here, not only just a club crew, but, you know, club lightweights. You know, Lara Brittain was a lightweight sculler over the last few years, and yes, I know Marika Keijser in the other boat, certainly a lightweight herself as well, but I just think that that's so impressive to get into such a strong draw and be representing Nottingham Rowing Club here today.
So we've got Notts Rowing Club and Notts County Rowing Association represented in this crew, and they're doing a really good job, I think. You know, it's neat, it's very together, and it's, you know, I guess they're just lacking a little experience, a little extra power that the Dutch are able to bring in, but I think I hope they'll be really happy, and at this point they will just be focused in on the next level of the race plan. What else can we do? What else can we do in that next push? Is the technique where it needs to be? They'll have had a really set race plan, I'm sure, given to them by Geoffrey Hunt for them to work through to really make sure, again, you know, in these smaller races you can get big gaps, so you've got to know your technical aims, your physiological aims of how hard you're going to go in the different parts of the race, and that sense of why you're doing it, why you're here, this opportunity.
I'm just going to point out, Kath, look at the water here in this last kind of few hundred metres. You can really see that wind starting to pick up amongst the swell of those pleasure cruisers that we were talking about. And as you're getting into the final stages, yes, I know, you know, they've got a big gap, the Dutch here back. They can be relaxed, they can, you know, scull through, slice through this water. But come tomorrow, they'll be under a lot of pressure, and they'll want to be practicing that nice, clean exit and entry of the blades through this steward's enclosure part, which is where the real race comes to a head.
And you can't practice that unless you are rowing down the course on one of these days in early July. You can't recreate that really anywhere else. And so, you know, again, it's learning. Every race, every scenario, you have some you're up, you have some you're down, some you're side by side. And, you know, every time you race, you pick up more experience. But they've been able to drop the rate there. We can see them very well in control. And, yeah, they'll be wanting to think about, yeah, visualising how we complete this race and then rest up for tomorrow. Good to see Lara Brittain and Ella Weeks absolutely fighting to the end here, still looking really spirited, giving their all as they come past the enclosures. They've done a great job.
Yeah, really excellent job here from the Nottingham composite. I'm sure the East Midlands all tuning in to our live broadcast here to spur them on, but coming up against an international crew in round one, which, as I say, in these premier events, almost certain they've done a very good job there to stay within a couple of lengths. So
it is a win for Henley Royal Club in this heat of the Stonor Challenge Trophy.